This is the latest story about Hartford, Connecticut. This story demonstrates how working landscapes can have a transformative effect on the public realm while providing habitat for urban wildlife and mitigating stormwater runoff. The greatest value of this story is that it is replicable. It can be applied in cities across the United States. Nelson Byrd Woltz, landscape architects, collaborated with the Environmental Protection Agency on a visioning plan for Hartford's downtown. The design team from Nelson Byrd Woltz included Thomas Woltz, Jeffrey Longhenry, Simon David, and me, and Clark Wilson and Abby Hull from the EPA. Our final product is a comprehensive plan for the Capitol Avenue corridor that identifies site history, constraints and opportunities, strategic partners, and potential development sites, and proposes site-specific design interventions. Little Sigourney Park provides passage from the Frog Hollow neighborhood to the planned Sigourney Street Bus Rapid Transit Station, and also provides a collection point for residents and water at the low point of the Capitol Avenue corridor. A surface wetland meadow will collect stormwater runoff, calling to mind the former path of the Park River, which currently passes under the site in a concrete conduit. The design also suggests public art that might include framing views to the Capitol and transforming the inhospitable walk under the viaduct with an artful lighting installation. The Frog Hollow streetscape represents a green infrastructure prototype at the scale of the residential street. A bioswale runs parallel to the curb line, with intermittent passage provided by permeable pavers collecting stormwater runoff and enriching the street with native plants. A street tree planting on the opposite side of the street contributes to Hartford's urban arboretum and shades a bike path that links up to a larger regional cycling network. Broadflower Park is an eco-cultural retrofit of an under-maintained parking lot at the knuckle of the Capitol Avenue corridor study area. It terminates the view down Capitol Avenue from both the east and the west, and therefore has significant symbolic value. The site is also a hydrologic collector, as it occurs at a low point along the corridor, and provides terminus for the proposed bioswale along Capitol Avenue. Its position at the intersection of the Frog Hollow and Asylum Hill neighborhoods provides passage between the two communities and thus serves as a connector between the two. Adjacent to Broadflower Park, this redesign of an existing open space creates usable human-scale civic space on the front lawn of one of Hartford's architectural gems, the State Armory and Arsenal. Armory Park allows for passive and active use. It is bound by a lush bioswale, dense tree planting, and the grand facade of the Armory building. The landscape at the Capitol grounds plays a symbolic role as the welcome mat to Connecticut's state Capitol building. It was apparent to us after visiting Hartford that vast civic lawns can be as isolating as an asphalt parking lot. To give the Capitol grounds a unique landscape identity, we proposed that the civic lawn be replaced by a meadow rich with wildflowers. From an ecological perspective, the meadow provides habitat for pollinators, where a fescue lawn does not. A path under the canopy of a native urban tree museum winds its way around the west of the Capitol building, connecting Capitol Avenue with the transit hub at Hartford's Union Station. At Connecticut Square, an inventive shared use of parking infrastructure meets the needs of state employees during working hours, Monday through Friday, and supports the programs of nearby cultural institutions in the evenings and on weekends. Permeable pavers help to transform the community's perception of space while performing a hydrologic function. An investment in green infrastructure along the perimeter of the parking lot in the public right-of-way preserves the landscape experience while allowing for adaptability to future land use on the site. This is the news story of Hartford, Connecticut. It was once a story about rivers, sewers, and roads. It is now a story about a new civic landscape, a cultural and ecological narrative that will build bonds between people and place.